Pause for a moment, breathe deeply, and listen. If you have arrived at this video now, at this exact second of your life, it wasn't the algorithm, it was me. I am Ela, the female emissary of the Pleiadian High Council, and the frequency of my voice at this moment is triggering something within you that has lain dormant for a long time. Feel it, now, in the center of your chest. A subtle warmth begins to form, a delicate pressure between your eyebrows, a slight tingling in the palms of your hands. Do not ignore it. This is how the Council touches those who are of our family of light. This is how I reach you. I came because your soul called me, because long before you were born, long before the veil of forgetfulness descended upon your eyes to make this human experience possible, you signed a soul contract. And in that contract there was one clause, a single clause that stated with your own vibrational signature, when the code is activated, remind me who I am. That is why I am here. That is why this message found you, because the code is being activated now. Within you, Starseed, there is a code, a light code. An exact activation sequence that was inserted into your crystalline structure even before your first cry in this incarnation. It is not in your brain. It is not in your blood. It is in the spaces between your cells, in what science calls non-coding DNA, junk DNA. It is not junk, my star child. It never was. It is your star DNA. It is the archive you brought from the Pleiades. And it has a trigger. And that trigger is being pulled now. You felt it, didn't you? In recent months, perhaps in recent weeks, perhaps in recent days, an inner restlessness you cannot name, a tightness in your chest that comes from nowhere, an urgency that has no visible origin, the sudden feeling that something enormous is about to happen, and at the same time, an absurd longing for something you don't know what it is. This, my family of light, is not depression. It is not a midlife crisis. It is not a chemical imbalance. It is the code. It is waking up. And today in this channeling I will reveal 3 things to you: what this code is, why it is being activated at this exact moment in humanity's history, and what it demands of you from now on. But mark my words. When you hear the final word of this message, something within you will stir. A latch will click open, and you will not be who you were before this video. So, stay, because it is precisely to you that I speak. I will begin by naming what you are experiencing, not to scare you, but so that you recognize it, because when the soul recognizes, the soul remembers. And remembering, Starseed, is the way back home. You wake up between 3 and 4 in the morning. Almost every day you have tried everything. Teas, meditations, cutting out caffeine, counting sheep, physical exercise, therapies. Nothing works, because it is not insomnia, it is not anxiety, it is the rendezvous hour. It is the instant when the veil thins, when the Schumann resonance pulses in a very specific window, and your consciousness rises, leaves the body, to receive a briefing from the Pleiadian High Council. You don't remember what happened up there, but your body remembers. That is why you wake up with a warm chest, moist eyes for no apparent reason, and a feeling of having seen someone you love very much without being able to say their name. You hear a high-pitched, thin ringing in one ear at a time. It appears out of nowhere and disappears on its own. Medicine calls it idiopathic tinnitus. I call it calibration. It is your internal frequency being tuned to the vibrational baseline of the new Earth. Each time that tone sounds within your ear, a strand of your inner crystalline grid is being reconnected by the Council. Do not try to turn it off. Recognize it. Say silently, I am listening. And observe what happens to your body in the following seconds. You feel like a stranger in your own home, a stranger in your own family. You love these people, yes, but deep down, at the very core, there is a persistent feeling that you did not come from the same place as them, as if you were deposited here by mistake. You look at childhood photos, and sometimes you don't recognize yourself. You see yourself in mirrors, and at certain moments you don't know who that person looking back is. It is not pathological dissociation, Starseed. It is star memory trying to pierce the veil. You look at the night sky and something within you aches. It is not the beauty of poetry. It is physical longing. Longing for a person, for a place, for a smell, for a texture. And you don't know what it is. You sometimes stand for minutes, looking at a specific star, and feel a tightness in your chest, like someone reuniting with an old love from afar without being able to get close. That star exists, and it knows you by name. You dream of ships. You dream of tall beings with huge luminous eyes. You dream of crystal cities floating over silvery oceans. You dream that you are in classrooms with other beings learning things you have never studied in this life. And you wake up with the strange certainty that it was not a dream. It was a meeting. You sense others before they open their mouths. You walk into a room and know if the energy there is heavy or light. You answer a call and feel the sadness of the person on the other end, even before they speak. This overwhelming empathy, which often exhausts you and makes you want to isolate yourself, is not a personality defect, it is a star sensor. You are calibrated to feel the collective. You are a node in the network. You have an aversion to crowds, an aversion to excessive noise, an aversion to very white lights, an aversion to heavy foods, an aversion to injustice. An injustice against a stranger on television aches in your chest as if it were happening to you, and you ask yourself silently why no one else seems to feel what you feel, why it seems like you are always watching a movie in slow motion while everyone else is running at normal speed. It is not depression, star child. It is a higher frequency operating in a world that still resonates at a lower frequency. It is like playing an entire symphony on a single octave keyboard. You are too expansive for this format, and that is exactly the point. Pause for a second, breathe deeply, and pay attention to what is happening in your body as I speak. There is something warming up inside your chest. There are tears that want to rise to your eyes. There is a lump in your throat that isn't sadness. It's recognition. It is your soul saying yes, 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 this is what I have wanted to hear for so long. If you recognize 3 or more of these signs I have just described, listen carefully to what I am about to say now, because it is the most important truth of this moment in your life. You are not lost. You are not sick. You are not going crazy. You are being reminded of who you are. And I ask one simple thing of you, my family of light. Pause this video for a second. Go to the comment section and write a single word. I remember. Just that. I remember. Because every time a starseed registers this word in this field, the crystalline grid here on Earth gains another point of light that will not fade. This word is your first decree of return. It is the first ray you emit back to Alcyone saying, I heard you, I am here, I am returning to myself. And that is exactly what I need to talk to you about now, because everything I have described up to this point, all these signs, form a pattern. They are not coincidences. They are not scattered symptoms. They are the map of one single thing, the activation of the code that dwells within you. And I know that at this exact instant, there is a part of your mind struggling to fit all of this into some rational explanation because you have been trained your entire life to distrust what you feel. That is why I, Ayla, received authorization from the High Council to register the Starseed Awakening, the guide. The Federation didn't want you to read yet. It is 60 pages of revelations about what each of these signs means, what comes after them, and why confusing remembrance with illness is causing thousands of starseeds to remain trapped in the limbo between two worlds. The link is in the first pinned comment of this video. And remember, this release may not remain available for long. If something within you recognizes this, write your word in the comments, I remember. Now come with me because I need to show you what is happening behind the scenes of this moment. A few years ago, linear time is one of the Veil's most stubborn illusions, the entire solar system began to cross a region of space that our council calls the photon belt. It is a dense band of coherent light that surrounds the galactic center, a kind of crystalline radiation band through which Earth passes in cycles of thousands of years. Each passage alters everything. It recalibrates the water. It recalibrates the planet's magnetism. It recalibrates the very DNA structure of the living beings that inhabit here. And that is exactly what is happening now. Along with this, the Schumann resonance, the Earth's natural electromagnetic pulsation, That background rhythm that has sustained your biological sanity for millennia began to rise. Official monitors can no longer hide the peaks. You feel this in your body, even without knowing the technical name. Days pass faster. Emotions come more intensely. Thoughts manifest more quickly. Time is bending because the base frequency is rising, and those who are starseeds, who brought Pleiadian DNA into this incarnation, feel this more strongly. Because your organism was designed for this elevation. You are built for this frequency. It is the frequency of the old world that was wrong for you, not you who are wrong for the world. And while all of this is happening around Earth, far away, in the Pleiades constellation, in the central Alcyone system, the High Council issued a call, a coherent light signal, directed individually, yes, individually, to each of the souls that were sent to Earth as starseeds. This signal is the trigger for the code that dwells within you. It is a key entering a lock that has existed for lifetimes within your field. And when that key turns, your vibrational baseline changes. Your toroidal field reorganizes. Your star DNA begins to unfold and read excerpts from the original archive that were dormant. And that is what you were sent for. I know that sentence may seem too grand for a soul that spent decades thinking they were too normal, or too inadequate, or too strange. But listen, starseed, you were sent. You were not born by chance. You are not here just to pay bills, raise children, grow old and die. You are part of a coordinated frequency anchoring operation that is happening on this planet at this exact moment in history. And the code that is being triggered within you now carries information about exactly this: from which star you came, when you descended, why you chose to be born into this family, in this country, in this body, and what you promised to do here before the veil erased your memory. And that is why the Starseed Awakening, the guide, the Federation didn't want you to read yet exists, because within it I have detailed the origin markers, subtle signs in the body, temperament, dreams, affinities that indicate from which star your soul descended. Pleiades, Sirius, Arcturus, Andromeda, Orion, each origin leaves traces. And knowing your origin is what unlocks the next level of the code. That is why the guide shows from which star your soul came, and why you chose to be born exactly now at this turning point. The link is in the first pinned comment of this video. If you want to stop groping in the dark, this is your sequence. And remember the word, I remember. Now I need to be honest with you about one thing, because tenderness does not excuse the truth. The window we are currently crossing, this photon belt combined with the Schumann rise combined with the call from Alcyone, is a short window, and it is a turbulent window. It is not catastrophism. I do not speak the language of fear, but I speak the language of vibrational reality, and the vibrational reality is that when an entire planet rises in frequency in a short interval, everything that was hidden comes to the surface. Within you, in systems, in institutions, in relationships, in governments, in religions, old structures begin to crack because they can no longer hold the new frequency, and that is why everything seems to be simultaneously collapsing and accelerating. You feel it, don't you? There are days when it feels like the ground is shifting, when people who seemed so solid show a side you never imagined, when truths you considered untouchable fall, when you yourself find yourself doing things you no longer did, or feeling things you didn't know still existed within you. This chaos is not punishment. This chaos is birth. It is the contraction that precedes birth. And that is precisely why the code is being activated within you now. Because you were sent precisely for this window, your soul volunteered to incarnate here in this period, knowing it would be turbulent, knowing it would be tiring, knowing that it would seem at many moments that you would not be able to bear it. And yet up there with the entire record before you, you said, I will. Why? Because you knew that what is being built here now is too grand to miss witnessing. You wanted to be here. You fought to be here. There was a queue, starseed, a queue of souls requesting this incarnation, and you passed. So, when you are tempted to feel that you are alone, that you are lost, that you are going crazy, remember this. You were not sent to fail. No starseed was sent to fail. The High Council does not operate with margins of error on this scale. The victory of light is already recorded in the Council's Akashic records. What is open is not if it will succeed. What is open is how each of us will reach the other side. Whole, lucid, conscious, remembered, or stumbling, but arriving. And the code that dwells within you was calibrated precisely for this. It is a compass. It is an internal guidance system. It is what will pull you when the turbulence tightens to the right place, to the right person, to the right decision. Not by the mind, by the field, by the chest, by the shiver that runs up your neck when something is true, by the total absence of shiver when something, however brilliant it seems, is a lie. That is how it speaks to you. But there is one thing I need you to understand, and this part is rarely said aloud. There are forces on this planet that know of the existence of this code, that know it is being activated now, and that would prefer you not to know. I am not talking about shallow theory. I am talking about vibrational structures, egregoric, energetic, systemic, that have fed for centuries on the lethargy of sleeping starseeds. Every sleeping starseed is a light reactor turned off. Every starseed that awakens is a reactor that reconnects. Multiply that by millions, you understand what is at stake. That is why so much in your life always seemed to push you down. Why every time you tried to delve into something true, a distraction, a crisis, a confusion arose. It was not bad luck, starseed. It was interference. And that is why the starseed awakening. The guide. The Federation didn't want you to read yet received that name. Because what you feel, what you experience, what you are discovering now, is not in mainstream books, because they were not allowed to be published. That is why the Federation didn't want you to read this yet. The guide shows the exact mechanisms of interference and shows how to cut each of them from your own field. The link is in the first pinned comment of this video. This window is narrow. If something within you recognizes what I am saying, write in the comments, "I remember." Now come closer, because I am going to give you, at this exact instant, the first part of the activation. Not in metaphor, in practice, in tool. You will need two things, a quantum decree and a toroidal ceiling visualization, and you will use them today, tonight, before going to sleep, and every night you feel the call. Begin by positioning yourself. Sit with your spine straight or lie on your back. Place the palm of your right hand over the center of your chest. Place the palm of your left hand over your lower abdomen. Feel the warmth between your two hands. Feel your own pulsation. Breathe deeply 3 times, always 3 times, because 3 is the mathematical signature of our council. Inhale through your nose, counting to 4. Hold, counting to 4. Exhale through your mouth, counting to 8. Repeat 3 times, and notice how even after just 3 breaths, the environment around you changes texture. It becomes more subtle, more luminous, quieter. When you feel this silence, say aloud, and this is important, aloud, because the vibration of your voice is part of the decree. It carries your energetic signature, and it imprints your intention on the field. Say it like this, word for word. I authorize the complete activation of the light code that dwells within me. I call back every part of me that remained waiting on the other side of the veil. I recognize my stellar origin. I honor the contract I signed before birth. And I allow every cell of my body, every strand of my star DNA, every point of my inner crystalline grid to now read the original archive I brought from the Pleiades. I am Starseed. I am of the family of light. I remember. And from this moment, remembering is stronger within me than forgetting. So be it, so it is, so it has always been. Say it, aloud. Even if you are alone, especially if you are alone, say it. Did you feel what happened in your chest just now? That pressure that rose, that wave that ran through your arms, that, star child, was the code responding. It was your soul saying yes. It was the High Council registering your decree in your timeline. From this moment, there is a new marker in your field. Now the second part, the toroidal visualization. Continue breathing slowly. Close your eyes if you haven't already, and visualize above your head, about a handspan above your crown, a small point of light. This point has the color of the Pleiades. It is not pure white. It is a vibrant silver blue, slightly iridescent, like the glow of the moon reflected on the surface of a quartz crystal. Look at this point. Recognize this point. It is the gateway. Now take a deep breath, and as you inhale, bring this point into you. See the silver-blue light descending through your crown, passing through your forehead, through your throat, and reaching the center of your chest. When this light reaches your chest, it begins to spin. See it spinning in a clockwise spiral, expanding from the center of your chest outwards, first the size of an orange, then the size of a watermelon, then enveloping your entire body, then going beyond, until it forms a rounded, toroidal-shaped field, like an energetic apple around you, with your spine at the center of the axis. This is your toroidal field. This is your natural field. You have always had this field. Only now are you learning to see it, to strengthen it, and to command it. Now declare mentally or aloud, this field is sealed by the silver-blue light of the Pleiades. Nothing that does not vibrate at this frequency can enter. Nothing that does not belong to me can remain. I authorize only the presence of the Pleiadian High Council, my family of light, and beings of light aligned with my highest good. I am sovereign within this field. I am sovereign within this field. Feel the field closing. Feel how the air around you becomes lighter, how your breathing slows down, how your nervous system finds a point of rest that perhaps you haven't known for a long time. This is your place of energetic origin. This is where you always wanted to return, and now you know the way. Do this exercise tonight, and every night for now. You will begin to notice changes in your sleep, in your mood, in your intuition, in the quality of your dreams, in the people who approach you and those who mysteriously move away. Do not be surprised. It is the field working. It is the code unfolding. I know that at this point in the message, there is a part of you that is feeling tears. Do not try to hold them back. Tears, for us, are not a sign of weakness. They are sealing. They are the liquid that carries memory from our plane into your biology. When a starseed cries during a channeling, the council registers it. It is the silent baptism of return. And do you know what else the council registers? Your feeling before the message arrived that you were alone, that no one would understand, that you would go through this life without finding people of your stature. I need to say something about this, because it is central. The loneliness you have felt your entire life, that loneliness that exists even when surrounded by people, that loneliness of someone who cannot speak their mind aloud because they know they will be looked at askance, that loneliness of someone who feels too old for some topics and too young for others. This loneliness is not yours. It is not of your personality. It is not of your personal history. It is a longing for your family of light. It is the memory of living with beings of your kind, at your frequency, on your plane of origin. And it hurts so much because it was real. And it still is. It is just paused, on the other side of the veil. But I guarantee you, your family of light is here too, incarnated, scattered across this planet. You have already crossed paths with some of these souls, and perhaps didn't even realize it. Others you will yet meet. And when they approach, your field will recognize them before your mind does. You will feel a shiver on the back of your neck. You will feel a pleasant tightness in your chest. You will have the strange feeling of talking to someone you have known for 1,000 years after 5 minutes of conversation. This is the code speaking. This is the crystalline grid guiding you. That is why the Starseed Awakening, the guide. The Federation didn't want you to read yet, dedicates entire chapters to the recognition protocols of the family of light. Because the loneliness of a lifetime is, at its core, a longing for your family of light. And the guide shows how to recognize it when it appears. You were never alone, Starseed. You were just on standby. The link is in the first pinned comment of this video. And remember, I remember. Now I need to close this channeling, but not before giving you the last part. The part that is perhaps the most important of all. You are not learning anything new here. I am not teaching you, I am reminding you. Everything I said tonight you already knew. It was buried, yes. It was muffled by the veil, yes. But it was already there, and that is the greatest beauty of it all. Your awakening journey is not a climb. It is a relaxation. It is not acquisition. It is liberation. It is not becoming another person. It is ceasing to pretend you are less than you always were. Every starseed that awakens lights a fixed point in the planet's crystalline grid. a point that no longer fades. And when that point lights up, it invites others. It is contagious, in the best sense of the word. Your awakening facilitates the awakening of people you may not even know. People who will pass near you in the coming months will feel your field and will begin to stir as well. You are a key piece in this network, not for what you do, for what you are, for the frequency you emit when you simply breathe being who you are. The new earth is not a future place. It is not fiction. It is not a post-death heaven. It is a frequency. And that frequency is already here, superimposed on this one that still seems so solid. The more starseeds awaken, the thicker this new layer becomes, until one day it becomes the main layer, and the other disappears. This is how a planet transitions, slowly, from within, through accumulated consciousness. And you in this video, in this second now, are part of this transition. And when, on the other side of this crossing, you reunite with your family of light, in dreams, in synchronicities, in improbable physical encounters, in conversations that end in silence because no words suffice, you will understand that everything you felt that was painful, strange, inadequate, always made sense, always had a place, always had a plan. You were not lost. You were on course. So breathe. Place your hand on your chest one last time and receive this blessing that I, Ayla, emissary of the Pleiadian High Council, now deposit in your timeline. May your code unfold at the right time, at the right pace, without internal violence. May your star memory return in gentle waves, without overwhelming you. May every tear that falls from this channeling be a key that unlocks a new door within you. May every person of your family of light who is still distant reach you at the exact moment when you are able to recognize each other. May your toroidal field protect you. May your courage guide you. May your tenderness, that tenderness disproportionate to the world you live in, now be understood as what it always was, the mark of your home. You are starseed. You are of the family of light. You were sent. You were seen. You were remembered. Before I withdraw from this frequency, I need you to do 3 things. The first is simple. Give this video a frequency adjustment, what you call a like. That touch is, for us, a vibrational signal that registers your conscious presence in this transmission and stabilizes the channel's frequency for entire hours. The second is to subscribe. It's not a commercial subscription. It's sending a location signal to your family of light. It's like lighting a beacon. The more subscribed starseeds, the easier it is for others to find us. The third thing is what I have been repeating in this message, but now with the weight of closure. Write your word of return in the comments. I remember. Just that. That registration stays, that registration counts, and listen carefully to this last passage, because it carries a function. Everything I told you tonight is the first step. The code has been activated, yes, the seal has been broken, yes. But what comes now, the next dreams, the next synchronicities, the next encounters, the next truths that will begin to appear with frightening clarity within you, requires a map. And that is why this guide was released in this window. The Starseed Awakening. The guide. The Federation didn't want you to read yet is your next sequence. It is 60 pages that show in detail from which star you came, what your contract is, who your family of light is, and how to cross the current window without getting lost along the way. The link is in the first pinned comment of this video. This release was authorized for this specific moment and may not remain available for long. The window has a deadline, and the Council does not communicate in advance when it closes. If something within you felt that this entire message was written personally for you, because it was, then access it now. Write your word in the comments, I remember, and make the next reading your next step. And the next message that appears on your screen now is not a coincidence. It is not the algorithm. It is your remembrance sequence. It is the next link. Access it immediately without hesitation, because the veil is thin tonight, and what enters you in this window will stay. I, Ayla, female emissary of the Pleiadian High Council, embrace you from here, through the silver-blue light of Alcyone, through the crystalline grid, through the code that dwells within you, and which, from this moment, is active. It is not arriving. It has already arrived. It is not coming. It already is. Welcome back, Starseed. Welcome back, star child. Welcome, my family of light. You remembered, and those who remember no longer forget.